Good morning, ladies and gents. So I'm back with another Conquerors Blade video. This time around we're going to be looking at the buff the Iron Reapers have just had. I have had time to actually play around with it now, and I'm going to be telling you what I believe is the best veterancy line to go down and build for the Iron Reapers. Before we get into the video though, hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest of Conquerors Blade. Another thing I just want to point out before we get into the main bulk of the video as well is if you are looking after picking up any of the content creator packs, these packs include skins, they include attires, they include all kinds of other fun stuff as well, and you need a content creator code for them. If you could use my code GLINGG, link down in the description box below, straight to all the content creator packs for you as well, that would be fantastic. So the Iron Reapers have always been known as a unit which is a very big burst damage unit, which can actually tank a little bit of damage as well, and unfortunately over the last few months, over the last year really, the Iron Reapers have really fallen by the wayside a little bit. They have not kept up with the seasonal units which have come into the game. The Iron Reapers just were not really, they weren't even a unit to play in normal sieges, let alone territory wars, and they really kind of fell down playing against any of the newer units, which was a really big shame. Back in the day, the Iron Reapers were the units that everybody wanted, that everybody went for, and were the big boys of Conquerors Blade. So now they are unfortunately not as good as they were back in the day. However, with their buff, which they have had in the last couple of weeks, they have improved significantly to the point where actually they are now playable, definitely in normal sieges, and I believe they are going to start making a bit of a comeback in certain territory war battles as well. So the Iron Reapers were always best played with the flail. The flail would come in, do a disgusting amount of damage, and then literally you would just kind of XV, and they would just keep pumping out that damage. Their rate of attack was very low, it was a very slow moving unit, but the damage output from these guys was insane. Because it's blunt damage and not really any unit has blunt damage defense, they did pump out a lot of damage. They also broke shield walls, they broke shield units very easily and very quickly as well. So in the last few days I have been playing around with these guys. I've been trying different veterancy lines as well, which I'm just going to be showing up on the screen for you right now. However, the veterancy line that I have found to work the best is one that I didn't think I would ever be going down. Now there is a bit of a mix up between the veterancy lines because I actually had a few points spare from the top line, which is what I have gone down, and I want to explain the reasons why I have gone down the other routes as far as I have. So as you can see, I've gone all the way down the top line, and the top line is all about increasing the rate of attack, increasing your slashing damage, and then eventually increasing your damage dealt to infantry by 15%, which is a massive amount of damage increase. In the middle line I've got a bit of blunt damage, which isn't really going to be very beneficial for me, but the next skill along is the attack stun enemy heroes, which is quite a big one to have. You definitely want to be having these with your Reapers, no matter if you build sword or if you build flail. The bottom line increases health by 3% each node, and then reduces the damage taken by 3% as well. It's making the Iron Reapers a little bit tankier, a little bit more sustainable in sustained melee, because actually I am now playing the Iron Reapers using the sword. The sword has a greater rate of attack. It doesn't do as much damage as the flail does, but it attacks a lot quicker, and it is a very powerful unit to fight unshielded enemies. So think about all your ranged units, think about even your cavalry units, and think about a lot of the different infantry units as well. It does fare up pretty well against shielded units, but it doesn't break their block as well as it did when using the flail. Now I have tried this build, this veterancy line, using the flail as well. Didn't work out as well, unfortunately, because you lose a lot of the blunt damage which you gain from going all the way way down the middle line, and the top line is all about slashing damage, which is obviously done by the swords which the Reapers use. But I think personally the Reapers have kind of found their feet a little bit again, and I can see myself playing these guys a lot more in the next few weeks using their sword, and it takes people by surprise because they don't expect people to be using the Iron Reapers in this way, and they are tearing through units, absolutely tearing through them. And because I also have that skill which stuns enemies, obviously that's given me a little bit of crowd control effect against enemy units. The tankiness from the 2 nodes on the bottom line of the tree as well is giving me that little bit of sustainability, that little bit of extra health, and that little bit of bonus and buff which I need to actually keep these guys in the fight. Now I've not gone as far as the healing node because I personally don't feel this really makes a huge amount of difference to the Reapers. However, I am going to be constantly changing this up, trying it out and just seeing what works best. The only problem with getting that healing node is I will lose either the 15% damage dealt to infantry or the stun enemy heroes node, both of which I think are more useful than the recover 250 health per second for 15 seconds, because actually in the Reaper's pool of health, which is 12,500, that 2,500, yeah, it is 20% of their health. It doesn't really seem to make a huge amount of difference actually in the game though, and I feel that the other 2 nodes have a far more significant effect on the Reapers, especially in their sword attack and when they're attacking units. However, like I said, I'm going to be trying these guys around. I'm going to keep on playing around with these guys and see if this is the best kind of build or if there's going to be one that's even better for these guys out there. However, I want you to let me know down in the comments below, have you tried the Reapers? Have you tried the sword? Have you tried the flail? Have you tried a different variation of the trees that I have tried? Please do let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if there is anything in particular you want me to try with these guys as well. Thank you very much for watching, folks. As always, if you could hit that like button, share this video around, hit that sub button if you haven't already, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.